Alright, so I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be going over an opening trap that uh, I've had way too many times. I wasn't even going to make a video about this, but I keep getting people falling for this opening trap, so I'm going to make a video on it, because maybe you guys can use this opening and get some quick wins like I have. A lot of people fall into this trap, and I wouldn't be making this video unless there were a lot of people that fell for this trap. Okay, so it starts off with d4. So this is a trap in the Jobava London. So it's a variation of the London system. So the London system being bishop to f4, and then there's a whole other development of pieces. But basically, in the Jobava London, you go knight to c3, and in the regular London, you'll usually put this pawn on c3, you'll put this pawn on e3, etc. But the Jobava London's a little bit more aggressive, so you're going to block your c pawn, and then you're going to bring your bishop to f4 with some ideas of going knight b5. So in this position, black typically goes knight f6, and then here I go bishop f4. So this is the characteristic start of the Jobava London system. And typically in this position, there are a lot of moves here. I mean, a6 is a move, e6 is a move, g6 is a move, c6. I mean, there are a lot of moves here. c5 is a move. So c5, let's just take a look at this move. So this is the line where the trap typically comes from. So white just goes e3 here, defend the pawn here. And I cannot tell you how many people have fallen for this trap. It's very early in the game, so we're only on move 4. And I cannot tell you the number of times that black has made the losing move in this position. And that move is one of the most natural moves in the position, which is knight to c6. Now this move actually loses pretty much by force to knight b5. So this is basically losing for black, but there are some ideas that you need to know when black falls into this trap. So typically here, a lot of people try queen a5 check, but don't worry, just play c3. Don't panic. The knight is defended by the bishop. There's no worry about that. Don't retreat the knight. Just leave the knight there. Don't panic. This position is good for white. You just need to trust your instincts. So outside of queen a5, the other move that guys will typically try in this position just to stop knight c7 check with the deadly fork, there's really only one move to try, and the move is e5. So against e5, there are a couple things that you need to know here. So in this position, I suggest bishop takes e5, and then you still have this threat of knight takes c7, and then they'll typically take on e5, and after d takes e5, they have to move the knight. And you might be wondering, okay, well, now I'm not really threatening knight c7 check with the fork because my bishop is gone, but don't worry. There is a forcing line of moves that will lead to an advantage for white here if you know what you're doing. So his knight is hit, and I'm just going to say, generally speaking, they play knight e4. You can try knight e4, knight g4. Nothing's really all that great here for black, but I'm going to show you what happens after knight to e4. So take a second here and see if you can spot the brilliant tactic that leads to a very nice advantage for white. So I'll give you a second. So here it's very critical that you find the move queen takes d5. And so this would be, I'm sure if you play a game on chess.com and you do a game analysis, game review, it will give you a brilliant move every single time if you get this position. And I've probably had this position 30 times. It's incredible to me the number of people that don't know about this line. And the idea is after queen takes d5, you deliver the check on c7 now, since the queen is no longer there to defend c7. And then after the king moves, let's say king d7, you take back on d5, and then taking stock of the material. So black has 6 pawns, White has all 8 pawns, so white is up 2 pawns and has a much better position. Rook can come to d1 at the right time. This knight will get kicked. So white is completely winning here, and it's very important to know these lines as black, but also this is a very powerful weapon for white. I've had many people fall into this trap, and I figured it was worth making a video about. And that's pretty much it. If you want to learn more about the Jobava London, I recommend looking at either Jobava's games or Simon Williams's games. There are a lot of strong grandmasters that play the Jobava London nowadays. It's very topical, but this is a line that you must know as black. But also, if you play the Jobava London as white, you must know this. And if black falls into this, you can get a very, very nice position, and this will be winning for white. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.